This is the Planet Reigate podcast.
And this is Peter Stewart. Hello, welcome to this week's episode 41 for Saturday the 22nd of June. Hope you're well. And what's in this episode? Well, this is how we're reflecting and celebrating our love of life around here. My guests, well, I've been to the Light Entertainment Complex in Redhill. It's 1 year old, and I've been along to their celebrations and to reflect on the first 12 months of bowling, eating, viewing, golfing, axe throwing, all sorts of things going on there. Hear me talk with their business manager in the next 10 minutes or so. Plus, we look back at a big and busy weekend last weekend, wasn't it? First of all, at the Reigate Summer Festival, and also our reporter was at the Horley Carnival as well. Hear a whole series of interviews from both of those events a little bit later on in the show. In the news, local recipients mentioned in the King's Birthday Honours. The latest on the sale of Redhill-based Sutton and East Surrey water. A shop in the Belfry has closed after just a few months trading. We have a well-deserved boost for a local ice cream shop. Probably not the one you may think of, though. Hear about a new cocktail company going national, but based locally. I'll give you details of how you could get free money from two grant organisations. Caught on camera vandalism in Charlwood. Do you like playing board games? A local enthusiast is setting up a new group and booking ahead for a big food festival in Redhill. In travel news, long-awaited roadworks outside the Angel pub. I have the details. Plus, did you hear the latest dates for the M25 being closed? If you haven't, you will if you stay listening. In sports, RGS are represented in the London Cup T20. Reigate Roses Netball Club appealing for new members. Plus, we've got much more as well. We've got the Good Time Guide of events across the area, across the week ahead. Planet Reigate Stars are for a lady in Redhill who let a little girl stroke her dog. Hear the story later. And of course, before we go, at the end of the show, natural sounds from a place you know, our 60-second soundscape.
This is the Planet Reigate podcast with Peter Stewart.
And you'll find the time that each of those features are on in our show notes, so you can scooch straight through to that point. And I also put out social media posts during the week with links that take you straight to the specific parts of the show. So you can follow us on Twitter, X, Facebook and Insta to get those. Just search for the Planet Reigate podcast. I'm Peter Stewart. Got so much more in our archive shows as well. For example, in episode 31, Wayne and Beth from Reigate Volleyball Club on their love of the sport and why it's growing really fast across Surrey. So if you want to hear more about one of our local volleyball clubs, then episode 31 is for you. From our Planet Reigate postbag this week, hi Peter, thank you so much for sharing about our meeting. It's very much appreciated. We'll make sure we share it across our socials from your page as well. Thank you. That was from Ellery from NHS Surrey Heartlands. So you can support our supporters as well. Wish a very warm welcome to the Belfry Shopping Centre in Redhill and Woodlands Lettings, also in Redhill. You'll hear messages from them later on in the show, and I hope, as I say, that you'll be able to give your support in a similar way to them that they've shown to me, to the Planet Reigate podcast. And if you'd like to become a supporter of the show, have your message available to the thousands of people within the Planet Reigate area, then you can drop me a line. Hello at theplanetreigatepodcast.com. Now, let's find out what's going on across the Planet Reigate area of Reigate, Redhill and Merstham, Buckland, Betchworth and Brockham over the course of this coming weekend, Saturday and Sunday, in part 1 of our Good Time Guide.
The Good Time Guide. Things to do and places to go on the Planet Reigate podcast.
And please remember to subscribe to the show so you don't miss an episode. And if you want to mention for your event, charity, non-profit, whatever it happens to be, fill out the form you'll find on the planetreigatepodcast.com or write to hello at theplanetreigatepodcast.com and get a mention 7 days before the event, or get more mentions and early mentions to get those early ticket sales with one of our Planet Reigate supporters packages. Ask me for more information. Hello at theplanetreigatepodcast.com. reigate.com. Okay, so this is what's happening Saturday, 22nd of June. Reigate Wanderers FC said, "Hi, we're running a charity football match to raise money for Shooting Stars Children's Hospices. We managed to raise just under £1,000 last year, and we're keen to raise more. We're wondering whether you'd be able to give us a shout out or something." Of course, that's what we're here for. So that event on Saturday, location Reigate School, kick-off at 3 o'clock. They're being sponsored by Pilgrim Brewery, British Land and Madison's Barbers. And the match is composed of players who've played for Reigate Wanderers or the local leisure league, six-a-side league, and employees of Pilgrims as well. And they're raising money for the charity Shooting Stars Hospices, who work as a children's hospice for children around Surrey and London. So that's the place to go. It's the Reigate School from 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. Let's turn our attention to the Archway Theatre in Horley, and of course we are media partners with the Archway Theatre in Horley, the Planet Reigate podcast. Pleased and proud to be that. For more information and booking details, go to archwaytheatre.com or phone 0333 666 3366. So what am I telling you about this week? Well, it's A Midsummer Night's Dream by William Shakespeare, and it's happening June the 22nd and 23rd, so this weekend and also next weekend as well, June the 29th and 30th. And it's not based locally, or it's not happening locally at the Archway Theatre in Horley itself, but staged in the beautiful gardens of the Royal Botanic Gardens Kew at Wakehurst. Yeah, they've started an exciting new collaboration with them. 3 weekends of open-air theatre, matinees only, in the beautiful gardens. So they say bring a picnic, wallow in the beauty of nature and the sparkling humour of the classic play, which goes by the name A Midsummer Night's Dream. Future Gymnastics are holding a summer party at their Merstham venue, and they're welcoming everyone who wants to go along to see their fantastic stalls. Face painting, hair braiding, penalty shootout, bouncy castle, raffle, small business stalls, glitter tattoos, face painting, food and drink, and much, much more as well. It's Saturday 22nd between 2 and 5 o'clock. All sorts of things going on there. And if you want to know some more information, then you can get that via Annabelle, Annabelle. I think there are several different ways of spelling Annabelle, aren't there? I think that's why I've spelled that one out. At futuregymnastics.co.uk, Merstham Park School, between 2 and 5 Saturday. Also, there is a dance-off. House, Funky House, Garage and Bassline, DJs Corky, Dan Rock, Russell K, Precinct and Regan Bowes as well. That's happening Saturday. Oh, there's also a silent auction and great food all day at the Marquis at Redhill. Doors open 2 p.m, goes through to 11 p.m. Free entry all night, but donations for the charity greatly appreciated. And children welcome until 6 p.m. That charity, the Lucy Rayner Foundation. Indian dance classes are being held every Saturday at 10 a.m. at the Harlequin pop-up in the upper level of the Belfry. Classes are open to everyone who's got an interest in Indian art and culture. It'll be 5+. More details 07531 567 390. Do you fancy a bit of jazz? Well, Buckland and Betchworth Choral Society have got some for you. Cool music, tea and fizz in the afternoon, they say. It's happening at St Michael's Church in Betchworth on Saturday at 4 o'clock. Tickets £10, under 16s are free. Moving on to Sunday, and this is something I'm going to be involved with. Earlswood and Redhill Kidical Mass is back. A meet at Memorial Park, 10 a.m. on Sunday, and I'm going to be starting off the ride. I've got my green flag to start that off, and then they're going to be cycling as a massive group around the streets of Earlswood and Redhill, ending at Earlswood Infant School, where the Friends of Earlswood team will be on hand to serve nibbles and refreshments. So save the date, tell a friend, share the love. There are over 500 people joined in the 2 Earlswood and Redhill mass family cycle rides last year. So obviously they want plenty of people to go along this year as well. So what is Kidical Mass? It's a global movement that campaigns for better cycling infrastructure where you live. For example, National Cycle Route 21, it actually runs down Earlsbrook Road, but it doesn't actually have a cycle lane, which is a little bit odd. Or maybe you think to yourself, it'd be really good to cycle to school with my child. Doesn't matter what age you are at all, but they want a massive group to promote safer cycling for children and families in the community. How much does it cost? Absolutely nothing. It's all free of charge and it's open to you. Even if you don't have a family, you can go along, and there will be adults acting as ride safety marshals as well. Now, all children have got to be accompanied by an adult, also on a bike, running alongside. You can't be doing that, and obviously you've got to be responsible for the child who you're supposed to be responsible for. It's all organised by Eco Earlswood and the team. It's supported by the Friends of Earlswood here at the Planet Reigate podcast as well, and also Earlswood Recycling Centre as well. So let me give you those details again, all of them. But the bare bones: Earlswood and Redhill, Kiddical Mass. Go along with your bike. Memorial Park in Redhill, 10 o'clock Sunday morning, and then you start the ride. You cycle around the streets of Earlswood and Redhill, and then you finish up with nibbles and refreshments as well. Hope to see you there. Really looking forward to that. Really pleased I've been asked to go along. Horley in Bloom competition, including residential front and back gardens, flats, allotment plots, local schools, community organisations, wildflower planting, business premises, pubs and restaurants in and around Horley. And the closing date is Sunday, so that's why I'm telling you about this. HorleyinBloom@gmail.com if you want to enter. As I say, the closing date is this Sunday the 23rd. There's a charity bake sale, East Surrey Twins Club fundraiser, and a social at Brockham Teas on the Green. It's Sunday between 2:30 and 5 at Christ Church at Brockham Green. Bring along your family and friends for a freshly baked cake and a cup of tea as well, and free entry. And there's loads of parking nearby, as you will know if you're familiar with Brockham. So there are a whole load of events going on for Saturday and Sunday, courtesy of the Good Time Guide on the Planet Reigate podcast. I'm Peter Stewart. Loads more to come. In a few moments' time, we're going to be hearing about the first anniversary of the light in Redhill, which is, I have not heard a bad word about the light in Redhill, and I know it's increased the footfall to the town centre as well, and loads of shops and the Belfry really pleased about the number of people who are going, and really brightening up the economy across the weekend, and the nighttime economy as well. Let's hear more about it right now.
The Planet Reigate podcast. Great stories from Redhill.
My name's Aaron. I'm the business manager for Redhill.
So happy birthday, Aaron.
Thanks very much. We're really excited. We've had 1 year so far. Everything's been great. Felt really supported by the local community. Everyone's given us great feedback, and hoping we carry on.
You know what? I haven't heard a bad word said about it, apart from one person who was about 80. And it's a story I've said a few times. And she said, I don't think it's for me. I haven't been in there. And I said, do you watch films? And she said, yes. And I said, do you eat? And she said, yes. And I said, do you know shuffleboard? And she said, yes. I said, well, it's for you then.
I think we've got something for everyone. If you like cinema, we've got lots of different events, all the new blockbusters coming up. We do some dementia-friendly screenings, so all your old favourites. So we had Summer Holiday on last year with Cliff Richards, which was really great. Obviously got lots of new stuff coming up, so Deadpool and Wolverine's looking particularly good for the summer. And if you don't like cinema, we've still got all the climbing wall and all the leisure, the bowling and everything. So, yeah, there's loads going on.
Absolutely. And it's been a real boost to the town as well, hasn't it, having the light here?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything but good things. Lots of people coming in. The footfall into the site is massive. The whole of the town centre is pretty busy as a result.
And you're working really well with the Business Guild and also the Belfry as well?
Yeah, definitely. The Belfry have been fantastic. Business Guild as well. We meet up regularly and constantly talking to each other on how we can get different things working.
And what's been the response from people who are coming here? What have they been telling you?
That it was desperately needed in the area. They're really pleased they don't need to travel outside of Redhill and Reigate to get everything that they want that we've got here.
Otherwise they're going to, Croydon or Crawley,
yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah, I think Crawley for the cinema, it's a massive cinema there. I think a lot of people have been travelling all the way there. So we're managing to keep them a bit closer.
Much more local as well, which is good, because then it means that the rest of the town gets a bit of a boost as well, doesn't it, with other eateries and other shops and so on too.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, anything that we can do to work with other local businesses to bring footfall into Redhill is definitely something we're looking to do.
Okay, so what are your plans for year 2?
More of the same, hopefully. Some great films, more events for the community. We do some local board game nights, and we're looking at coffee mornings, that kind of stuff, so we can use the site as a central hub for the community.
And I'm guessing you really want to thank the people who've been supporting you for the first 12 months?
Definitely. We couldn't do it without them. I think that everything's been really positive, and I can only thank them for using our site, and hopefully we'll see them again in the second and third years.
And it was great to be part of the first anniversary celebrations of the Light in Redhill. Now, to celebrate their first birthday, they've got a whole load of events and giveaways lined up this weekend, Saturday 22nd, Sunday 23rd of June. So if you're watching a film with them, you could be in with a chance of winning one of their golden tickets. Very Willy Wonka, are giving you the opportunity to win cinema tickets, leisure sessions, food and drink, including free popcorn and ice blasts. The team's going to be surprising guests across the weekend, so if you're thinking of going to the Light, you may be surprised and get something for free while you are there. And other things to keep the kids entertained as well: face painters, balloon modellers and kids crafting as well. And they've also got the rock choir joining them on Saturday from 4 in the afternoon. And on Friday and Saturday evenings they've got a live DJ booked from 8 till 11 at night. And they're offering 2 for £12 on a fantastic range of cocktails all weekend, and 4 for £12 on shots as well. So there's plenty of things going on there, aren't there, at the Light in Redhill. So really pleased to give them our support, as they have given support to our great town of Redhill. Still to come in sport, we feature RGS cricket and Reigate Roses netball, our 60-second soundscape before we go at the end of the show. And have you ever wondered about the building that Donatus School is in? Well, the history of that school building, who it was built for, and what they actually did in the town is all explained in episode 31 of the Planet Reigate podcast. Okay, let's move on to our news sequence this week. And the Supreme Court ruled this week that Surrey County Council should have considered the full climate impact of burning oil from new wells before they gave permission for drilling at Horse Hill oil well. So where is Horse Hill? Well, if you're coming from Tesco Hookwood towards Reigate, you've got the Black Horse pub on the right hand side, yeah? And opposite that, there's a road just veers off to the left. Up there is Horse Hill. Now, there's plenty about this story across the national news, but just to highlight that it is said to be a landmark decision which could put future UK oil and gas projects in question. Now, under planning law, the assumption has always been that only the impacts from constructing the wells and not the use of the final oil products should be considered. The case was brought against Surrey County Council by Sarah Finch on behalf of campaigners, and it could threaten new UK fossil fuels projects. Surrey County Council, based at Woodhatch of course, said it believed at the time it had followed planning law, and UK Oil and Gas plc, that's the company behind the Horse Hill project, say the court's ruling is perplexing. Well, the site at Horse Hill was given planning permission to expand its operations in 2019. There are 6 wells there. They're expected to produce 3.3 million tonnes of crude oil over the next 20 years. Those drills go to a total depth of 8,770 feet, and there are similar sites at Brockham and Holmwood as well. A Redhill couple have been awarded MBEs for helping raise more than £2 million to support children with cancer. That is fantastic news, isn't it? For Vicky and James Woodall, who've been recognised in the 2024 King's Birthday Honours List for their giant pledge to help beat childhood cancer campaign. They actually launched it, don't know whether you know this, after their son, who was 4 at the time, was diagnosed with a rare and aggressive tumour back in 2017. George is now 11. He's cancer-free. Cancer-free! and underwent 14 grueling rounds of chemotherapy, 30 rounds of proton therapy, and a part of his spine and 3 muscles from his back removed. And he's getting ready to start secondary school with his brother Alex. Their fundraising has supported projects at the Royal Marsden Hospital, including trials, studies and specialist staff as well. And the Giant Pledge families, because they've got other families and groups involved as well, have now raised more than £2.2 million. So congratulations to Vicky and James Woodall, who've both been awarded MBEs for helping raise that money to support children with cancer. Got some more on that on the BBC website if you want to read more. And also locally, an Order of the British Empire for Lucas Maxwell. Now, he's a school librarian at Glenthorne High School, which is in Sutton, for services to education. But Lucas actually lives in Betchworth, so congratulations to him. And also Peter Gordon Schofield, who's the Permanent Secretary for the Department of Work and Pensions, and he's got a Knights Commander of the Order of the Bath for public service. And Peter actually lives in Redhill, so congratulations to them as well. Now, we got an update on a story from a couple of weeks ago. The sale of Redhill-based Sutton and East Surrey Water has been given the green light by a watchdog after its concerns were addressed. Pennon already owns 3 UK water companies. It bought SES Water as part of a £380 million deal back in January. And in May, the Competition and Markets Authority said the deal could make it more difficult for the water regulator Ofwat to analyse and compare data, but the CMA now says it will accept the sale after Pennon agreed to give separate reporting information for SES from the rest of its water businesses. Again, more on that on the BBC website. Police are appealing for witnesses after a pedestrian was assaulted in Reigate back on Monday the 27th of May, so a couple of 3 weeks ago now. The victim was walking along Woodhatch Road around 8:30 at night when a cyclist approached him, yelled at him to move out of the way, and then grabbed the pedestrian from behind, spun him round and punched him and knocked him to the floor. And the victim got a broken arm and was treated in the hospital. If you saw what happened there, then get in touch with local police. A critical incident this past week affecting radiology patients at East Surrey Hospital. It actually started at the Royal Surrey in Guildford, affecting their radiotherapy department there, which was said to be due to a telecoms issue, but also affected was the radiotherapy unit at East Surrey, which is managed by the Royal Surrey. The incident affected cancer patients and people at both of those hospitals had to cancel a number of planned appointments. All patients affected were contacted and they're going to have their appointments rescheduled as soon as possible. Both hospitals apologising for the disruption. Any patients concerned about their treatment should contact the radiotherapy department at whichever hospital they usually go to. So obviously in our neck of the woods, that's likely to be the East Surrey. Some sad news out of the Belfry. The bear making workshop Ariana has closed after just a few months. It was a family-run business offering teddy bear making, pottery, painting, sand, arts and birthday parties. A post on Facebook simply saying, "We are now permanently closed. Thank you to everyone who's visited us. Anyone that had a booking with us has already been contacted and refunded. This page will shortly be closed and messages will not be monitored." No word on the reason behind the closure, although a further post saying thank you to everyone that's taken time to write to us here or in private. It is much appreciated. Well, obviously here from the Planet Reigate podcast, we wish the owners of that family-run business and all of their staff the very, very best. Their page has understandably already been removed from the Belfry's website. There's been a few mentions on socials over the last couple of 3 weeks about the opening, delayed, of Creams, the ice cream and dessert shop in Redhill. Well, I was reminded that as well as that, or maybe instead of that chain, we've got our very own Sunday Scoop shop in South Earlswood, who sell milkshakes and sundaes and ice cream sandwiches, all made with premium locally sourced ice cream. So Sunday Scoop, 10 Station Approach West. Any flavour. Now look at this. Each sundae includes 3 scoops of locally made ice cream. You can have any flavour, 3 scoops for £7, which I think is pretty reasonable. Unicorn Sparkle is unicorn vanilla flavour ice cream, white chocolate stars, cream, sauce, sprinkles and glitter. You can have Chocolate Heaven, which is chocolate and vanilla ice cream, brownies, cream, sauce and sprinkles. Caramel Toffee, salted caramel ice cream, Cadbury Crunchy pieces, fudge pieces, cream, sauce and sprinkles. Biscoff Obsession, Lotus Biscoff, I'm making a mouthwater here, aren't I? Lotus Biscoff biscuits, cream, sauce and sprinkles. Cookie Dream, cookies and cream ice cream, Oreos, cream, sauce and sprinkles. And Mint Madness, mint ice cream, After Eights, cream, sauce and sprinkles as well. And you can also choose 3 scoops of ice cream and add brownies or Oreos or Millionaire shortbread as well. Sunday Scoop, that sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Sunday Scoop, let's give them another mention. 10 Station Approach West. Still with business, Urban Sips is a new canned cocktail company based in the Redhill Reigate area. They say we base our cocktails on cities around the world instead of your classic espresso martini or old fashions. We've got 3 different types of cocktail. The London Earl, which is gin-based cocktail with vanilla, lavender and elderflower tonic. The New York Crush, vodka-based cocktail with mixes for berries and apple. And the Rio Breeze, rum-based cocktail with mango and lime. They say we also offer personalised cans to make your wedding day that extra special or impress your colleagues at your corporate events. More at urbansips.co.uk. Let's move on and talk about a few other events and pieces of information that you may be interested in. Voluntary Action Reigate and Banstead, commonly known as VARB, they've got some small grants which are available. So if you are interested in making a difference to your community, perhaps you're a part of a local charity or whatever, then you can apply for these grants. They offer financial support of up to £2,000 to help your organisation turn ideas into reality. They're passionate about empowering initiatives that bring positive change to the area. So if you are interested in getting up to £2,000 to help your community initiative, you can go to varb.org.uk/grants-2024. So essentially varb.org.uk. Another grant appeal now. Nominations are open for the latest Benefact Group's special draw. 10 charities will receive £5,000 each. But you've got to fill out their short nomination form by midnight tonight, Friday the 21st. So if you're listening to this, obviously after that time, you can't help either your group or some of our other local groups who are up to get that £5,000. So quick sticks. The more nominations a group gets, the greater their chances of winning. So spread the word. Up for the vote locally. I know Stripey Stalker in there. They've been posting about it during the course of the week. And also 5th Reigate Scout Group in Merstham. So if you want some money for your group, or if you want to nominate those groups to get money, Stripey Stalk and 5th Reigate Scouts, you can go to youth.movementforgood.com, but it's got to be done by 23:59 on Friday the 21st. Charlwood Parish Council say they're really sad to have to report there's been an incident of vandalism at the pavilion. One of their CCTV cameras was smashed and 2 of the flower troughs which were planted up for Parishes in Bloom competition were badly damaged. The incident happened just about 7:30 on the 10th of June. They say we've got CCTV footage of the culprits, but they can't actually put it on social media because the people responsible seem to be quite young, and also due to general data protection regulations as well, I should imagine. But if you've got an idea that your kids might be involved, they say, quote, if the parents of the young scoundrels are aware of their misbehaviour and would like to donate funds for the replacement of the CCTV camera, then do get in contact with the clerk in confidence at Clark, C-L-E-R-K, obviously, Clark, at charlwoodparishcouncil.gov.uk. Derek Cox says he's a board game enthusiast and is looking to bring people together to play board games in the Gatwick area. Now, we don't usually mention Gatwick, but it is the Gatwick area, so if you're willing to travel to the Gatwick area to play board games, then you may want to get in touch with Derek. He says the facilities we can use has got free parking on site, as well as bus stops and train station within easy walking distance as well, and he's looking to see if he can get a group together of any size to go along. Plenty of space, nice big tables. Do let me know if that's of any interest, says Derek. So if you're interested in getting in touch with Derek, Eric's his brother, then give me an email and I'll pass on the details to you.
Email hello@theplanetreigatepodcast.com.
And a bit of advance notice for your diary that Saturday the 6th of July, it is Rayfest at Ray Common School. And we are official media partners with that great event. All sorts of fantastic things going on there. There's a main stage with a DJ on from 12 o'clock. There's a choir. There's a taekwondo. There's unison choir as well. There's a cheer squad. There's a musical theatre. There's the Reigate School of Dance and so on. There's a feel-good arena with Manor Farm Petting Zoo, Punch and Judy, the Outdoor Project, football fun and a craft area. A makers market featuring Bats Hill Gin. Also, let's have a little look down here. There's a crafting corner. There's a food village with cookies and coffee and ice cream and candy floss and a bar, and also a family fun zone as well. Inflatables, face painting, splatter rat, Finding Nemo. I wonder what that is. Beanbag toss, teddy tombola, beat the goalie, sweet jars, bottle tombola, hooker duck and raffle, and loads more as well. And of course, all the money raised will help to enhance children's learning at Ray Common School. So tons of stuff going on there at Ray Common School, Rayfest, Saturday the 6th of July, and we're really pleased and proud to be associated with that, helping publicise events for the local community. Food Rocks Redhill. Join us on Redhill High Street, Sunday the 22nd of September. Yes, it's a way in advance, isn't it? But it's a day of sensational street food, market produce, pop-up bars and live music. So that's Sunday the 22nd of September between 11 and 4. That's what's happening there. So maybe that you want to get involved either as somebody that goes along and takes advantage and buys some food and listens to the local bands and groups and so on, or maybe you've got some street food. Maybe you run one of those street food trucks that we see across the area, and you want to be involved as well. So if you do want to be involved, then look up Food Rocks Redhill. It's going to be happening on the High Street Sunday 22nd of September, and you heard about it on the Planet Reigate podcast. Still to come before we go at the end of the show, our 60-second soundscape. Also, we've got Hidden Treasure from Julie Beams at the Children's Trust on Bell Street in Reigate. Here are interviews from the Reigate Summer Festival and also the Horley Carnival as well. And Planet Reigate Stars on the way, coming soon too. First of all, let's check out the travel news. As I've mentioned over the past several weeks, the road outside the Angel Pub in Woodhatch is said to be re-tarmacked. Some of that work started this week and continues this coming week. Yes, we've got some details here that between Monday the 24th and the 29th of June, Cockshot Hill will be closed from outside the Angel Cottage to the junction with Woodhatch Road. Woodhatch Road will be closed from the junction with Cockshot Hill for approximately 10 metres. Dover's Green Road will be closed from the junction with Cockshot Hill for approximately 30 metres to just before the BP garage. And Price's Lane will be closed from the junction with Dover's Green Road to outside of Townsend Pharmacy. As I say, we've been predicting that for the last several weeks on the programme. Also, I can tell you that part of the M25 is due to close again next month for a full weekend to allow for more works. It's the motorway between junctions 10 and 11, which will be closed from 9 p.m. Friday the 12th of July to 6 a.m. on Monday the 15th. For the construction and installation of a bridge on the roundabout at junction 10, and it's the third of 5 full weekend closures of the M25 to take place, with a further due later on this year. So obviously it's a little bit outside the Planet Reigate area directly, but if you're going over perhaps to the West Country or to West London, or going clockwise around the M25 to go up into the Midlands or further north over to Wales and so on, you know the route. obviously best to be fully advised. Now, there is a diversion route from our direction. Exit the M25 at junction 10 and then take the third exit to the northbound A3 to the A245 Paynes Hill junction and then go towards Woking and Byfleet, and at the 6 Crossroads roundabout take the fifth exit to the A320, picturing this, continuing to the M25 junction 11 where the diversion will end.
The Belfry Shopping Centre, Redhill. Ditch the click for hassle-free local shopping in a welcoming environment. See, touch, smell and try before you buy, and speak to real people who can advise you. The Belfry Shopping Centre, Redhill. Woodlands Lettings, connecting landlords with tenants for over 20 years. If you have a property to let, pop into our office on Station Road by the Belfry main entrance for a coffee and a chat. Or call 01737 372 797.
In our sports news this week, Boom Tennis and Redhill Lawn Tennis Club have got together. They're putting on a free session on Monday, which will get everyone hitting some balls and having some fun on court, they say. So if you go along, they'll give you a discount code for a further 3 group lessons. The club's offering 20% off membership and buying the drinks after as well. So don't rush off. There's an inducement. I've not heard of that before. They're standing around. Well, at 7 to 8:30 at Redhill Lawn Tennis Club, and that's on Monday. If you want some more details on that, get in touch with me and I'll pass on the details to you so you can get in touch with them and find out those details, the answers to the questions that you're after.
Email hello@theplanetreigatepodcast.com.
Well, let's move on to some other sports. Last week, RGS upper sixth former Emily B played in the London Cup T20 for Surrey against Middlesex at the Kia Oval. Emily's teammate and captain for the match, RGS's Amy Gordon, who lifted the cup for the victorious Surrey team. And to top it all off, the team was coached by RGS head of girls cricket, Sophie Pout. So congratulations to all of them. And a reminder that it's an open invitation to any school in the Planet Reigate area to send in their news for a mention. So hello@theplanetreigatepodcast.com. Reigate Rosebuds is one of our local netball clubs, and they've got some fun netball training for years 2 and 3. Their autumn term training dates, 15th of September, 29th of September and so on, 2 to 3:30, including the all-important snack break as well. The training will take place at the Hawthorne School, Bletchingley, £80, and you can email regaterosesnetball@gmail.com to confirm your place. Message here, come and give touch rugby a try. It's got all the fun and skills of rugby without the tackles. Got a range of sessions for all abilities, including women's, mixed and juniors, with a friendly group of regular players that'll make you feel really welcome. For experienced players, there's a chance to play alongside local international rep level players as well. Summer sessions run Mondays, Thursdays and Saturdays. And for more information, then you can contact touch at oldreigation.com.
The Planet Reigate podcast. Great stories from Reigate.
And wasn't it a big weekend last weekend? Not only the Horley Carnival, one of the big dates in their calendar during the course of the year, but also the very first Reigate Summer Festival as well. Now, we've got our report from the Carnival a little bit later on in the show, and also we've got our report from Reigate Summer Festival coming up right now. But whichever event you went along to and braved the weather, congratulations. I'm sure your attendance was really, really appreciated. So thanks to everyone who supported either of those events, or maybe another event across the Planet Reigate area over the course of the weekend. The rain did not put so many people off. Now, I was in Reigate on Saturday and Sunday. It was really good to see such a variety of events. I went to the exhibition upstairs at the Old Town Hall, across to music at Cage Yard, the history show at the library, short films at the Everyman, to each of the 3 main stages, and at the community centre as well. So, yeah, it was a celebration, of course, of music and singing, but also dance and photography and filmmaking, writing, ceramics, poetry and art, as I found out when I spoke with Chantel, head of art at Reigate College.
We're showcasing students' work from last year, whose work will be on sale on the website. And we've also got a showcase of this year's students' work to celebrate how well they've done this year. So we have photography, graphic design, fine art and textile art in the exhibition. And also the staff are also exhibiting their work. So we're all artists in the department, so we thought we'd get involved as well.
What are you particularly impressed with in the last couple of years from your students?
It's less about being able to do it, more about actually having the resilience and taking the time out to do it. So all of these artworks take hours and hours and hours and hours of students' time, and really for them to persevere and actually get a good artwork at the end, that's what makes you an artist. So that's what I'm most impressed about.
Is it fair to ask you what your favourite is, or what the most impressive one was, or what one took the most amount of work or dedication?
I'm a printmaker, so I always love it when students also do printmaking. But some of the fine art oil paintings that we have on show are absolutely outstanding.
Take me through to some of those.
We've got one here from Hannah Miller-Forkin, very Hopper-esque.
This looks like an underground car park.
It is. So her project was about showing really places that had no personality and kind of making them really beautiful.
And that's what I thought, because actually what we've got here is showing off the different techniques of light and shade, isn't
Absolutely, it? Yeah. It's got really great depth. This is actually a small version of a really big painting she did. So, hours and hours of beautiful oil painting, really saturated colours, just divine.
And show me something which kind of contrasts with that, maybe a different use of colours or paint or textures or...
Well, why don't we look at one of the drawings? Oh, actually, this one's really good. So we've got a lovely drawing here, architectural drawing on
Again, quite
watercolour.
industrial.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do... they're always quite popular as well, aren't they? Lloyd's of London, thank you very much. But yeah, working with mixed media also is quite exciting. So we're quite often getting students to work on watercoloured backgrounds and kind of adding more depth and richness to their work.
Okay, there seems to be a really high quality of your students.
Absolutely, yeah. Their work is really, really high standard. We've had so many good comments this weekend, and we've sold quite a lot of work as well.
That's fantastic.
So, yeah.
And it must give them a boost to know that people are looking at their work rather than just the lecturers or someone that examines their work and judges it.
Absolutely. And actually the best thing about the whole weekend is because the students' work who's for sale is ex-students from last year. So the best thing has been them coming back and seeing how they're getting on at art college and just seeing them again. It's been really, really nice to see them. And then next year it will be the current students' work that's for sale. So it will kind of be a rolling yearly thing that we do.
That's fantastic. Yeah. And what do students typically go on to do from Reigate College?
So a lot of them go off to do foundation courses, or they'll go straight on to degree to study things like architecture, fine art, and some of them don't even do art again. They might go and do degrees in history or English. It really depends on the student.
Okay, and what it shows is that there's more to the Reigate Summer Festival than music and singing.
Absolutely, yes. And literally we've had hundreds of people through the door who've been blown away by the art. It's been such a huge success that we will definitely be doing it again next year.
Ian Rowland is the band which has just come off the Clock Tower stage here at the Reigate Summer Festival on Sunday afternoon. Ian and Dave are with me from that band. Ian, tell me, what kind of music it is that you've been playing?
I call it roots folk pop. So it's a mixture, really, of lots of different influences. A bit of country in there, a bit of Americana, a bit of folk, and a bit of pop.
I was thinking Sunshine on Leith, that kind of thing.
Great. We'll go for that. Thank you.
Now it's a sunny Sunday afternoon, lucky. So you've had the best day, haven't you?
Very lucky. Yeah, we were driving up this morning. It looked a bit cloudy, but yeah, it's been sun and bright blue skies at the moment, and while we were playing, so that's brilliant.
And Dave, tell me about the response that you've had.
Well, yeah, it was lovely. It was really nice. I think it was pretty much full. Everyone was sort of enjoying it. We got some good applause. And there's so much music going on around the town. It's brilliant. Everywhere you go, there's like loads of stuff going on. So,
what do you make of the festival? How much have you got to see?
Quite a lot. There's still quite a lot to go, but hopefully we'll get around and see some more of it. It kind of goes to what we do, which is about sort of community and musicians and trying to keep music live and keep real people doing it and not AI and algorithms, and keep the little clubs and little venues open, and that's how all music comes through, you have to start somewhere. So you can't have all big. It's got to have local grassroots things as well. So it's brilliant what they're doing. It's fantastic.
And I know you've played at the New Music Nights before, which happen on the first Friday of the month locally here in Reigate, which was kind of what has powered the Reigate Summer Festival.
New, in the title, New Music Nights, that's essential for us because we write original stuff pretty much. We put a few covers in on longer sets, but it's about keeping music live, keeping it original in that we're trying to write, reflecting what's currently happening in the world, truly in it together in a community fashion.
And there is a lot happening in the world at the moment. How can you reflect the politics, the environmental concerns, the aggression and so on? How can you reflect that in music?
Well, I went down to the Eden Project about 10 years ago, took my 2 daughters down there, and we learned all about how plants and trees communicate with each other through a mycorrhizal fungal system, network they call it, and they call it the Wood Wide Web. I started to research that and read lots of books around that area, including Merlin Sheldrake's Entangled Life, and I wrote an album a couple of years ago called The Wood Wide Web, and we're playing songs from that, and that's kind of an underlying theme of ours is environmental concern and community actions that we can take.
You have to comment on it, and you can only comment on it from your perspective, but it doesn't matter how far the comment goes, you have to at least try, because if you don't say anything, no one hears it. Just bring people's attention to these things in a way that hopefully gets them. They think, that's a nice tune, but then actually listen to it and go, actually, it's about something. Like a nice breezy pop song and then slip a message in at the side,
And non-aggressive.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
You've got to do it non-aggressively.
There's enough aggression.
How tempted you might be to throw eggs. You can't.
Throw songs.
You've got to throw songs instead.
I love that. Tell us a little bit more finally about the band. How can people find out more about you, websites and so on?
IanRoland.com, that's IanRoland. There's loads of links to our music, videos up on YouTube, and we've got our latest single called Living in Sound out on Spotify or iTunes or actually any digital store you care to take.
Finally, Dave, how important has it been for you to appear here, to appear locally, to appear in front of people where you can see the whites of their eyes?
Well, we actually have one of the songs in our sets that Ian wrote was about that, wasn't it? There was someone in our local scene, very much like Tim, who died recently. The song has come to sort of honour him and the memory of the people who have to have a linchpin that everything revolves around, and those people are so important, people like Tim. These scenes don't happen without people like that who are committed to doing it. They may not even play instruments, but they love music enough and they're committed to the whole scene of getting people together and putting on events, quite often with very little pay, if any, and a lot of their time. And those are the people that it's very important. Like that's what it all builds from these little things.
Tim is with me, one of the organisers of the Reigate Summer Festival, also one of the guys behind the New Music Nights, which has kind of powered this through. Sunday afternoon, how's it been going?
It's been going incredibly well. Everyone's seen what the weather was doing. It hasn't been particularly kind, but people have just stuck it out. We've been very British about it. We've had some brilliant acts. I've been around the 2 stages in the middle of town and been really pleased with the crowds that we've had down. People have really supported it. And the evenings, which have both been dry, thankfully, they've been really atmospheric and superb.
And just looking around us now on Sunday afternoon, it's kind of what you wanted, isn't it? One band has just finished on the clock tower stage here, another one is going to be coming on in about 20 minutes, but people sitting around, they've got their coffees, they've got their burgers, they've got their pastries, they're just enjoying.
Yeah.
It is a sunny afternoon, it's great.
Exactly, I mean this is what we hope for. So the music that we've sort of planned for today, the Sunday, Father's Day, is kind of in keeping with that mood. I think it's a bit more mellow and I think people are really enjoying it. And what's interesting is that everyone who starts playing might have a small crowd there, and by the time they're into the second song, a crowd's gathered. People are stopping and paying attention and really supporting it.
And the attention to detail as well. Someone just pointed out to me, and I had noticed it myself, but the flags up and down the high street as well.
Yeah, well, we got Reigate Business Guild to thank for that. They paid for it and they organised it and they've been fantastically supportive, so we're really grateful to them. And it is the council, actually, I have to say.
I was going to say, it is a lot of people kind of pulling together for something like this, isn't it?
Absolutely, and everyone has got behind it. When we first had the idea and set about getting permission, we thought there'd be all sorts of obstacles that we'd have to get past. There haven't been any. It's just been support all the way, and I think it just shows that people love this sort of thing, and it's really good for the town. The screening in the cinema, I hear, was really well attended and it went down really well. All the stuff that's gone on in the Methodist Church and the community centre has been fantastic. Even down in Summers Hall, which is out on a limb a little bit, people have turned up and attended the ukulele.
The ukulele, the handbells,
which is brilliant. You know, everybody's had an audience and has had support. It's been superb.
I made a comment to you just before I pressed record, and you said, "Oh, well, think about that for next year." Next year?
Absolutely next year. Yeah, I mean, what we hoped was that this would prove the concept and people would think, yeah, we like having this little festival in town. So I think we've done that, and I think next year people will know that it works. They'll be more aware of it when we're planning it, and hopefully everyone will get behind it. We'll be able to expand it over the years. And everyone who wants to be involved can be involved. You know, it's an open door.
And you know what? When you're talking to me, I don't know whether you realise, you do have a smile on your face.
Do I? Just about got enough energy for smiling. But yeah,
it's a lot of work, helps. Isn't it?
It is a lot of work. And I mean, you mentioned me and New Music Nights driving this, but there have been a lot of other people. You know, Reigate College and Karen Gerard, who's in marketing there, has done an amazing job with the help of Denise assisting her, and Raluca, who's been the poster girl of all the social media stuff. Done a fantastic job pulling it all together. You know, it's way bigger than what New Music Nights has done here. We're really proud to be part of it, but it's just fun working with people who are all so positive.
When it's kind of an arts event, it would be a little embarrassing, wouldn't it, if your social media, if your video, if the graphics weren't up to speed?
Yeah, and I'm happy to say I had nothing to do with that, but whoever is putting that together has done a fantastic job. Mehmood also, I should mention, he's been doing a lot of videoing, and you, of course, Peter, with your support and, you know, putting it out on the podcast. It just gives the whole thing a sort of an air of authenticity, and I think everyone's bought into that.
Well, I really appreciate that, and thank you for putting it on for the town, because I know that, you know, no one's getting paid for all of this. Yeah. It is stuff that people are doing out of the goodness of their heart because they love where we live, yeah, which is all fantastic. What do you want to say finally to the people that have come down and supported you?
Oh, big thanks for believing in it and coming down and just seeing what it's like. People have come out to check it out and give it a go, and that's what we wanted. And you know, they've really made it work. So thank you.
And thanks to Tim and his loyal band of sponsors and supporters and volunteers, and to you if you went along as well. We're looking forward to next year now, aren't you? Yeah, I think so.
The Good Time Guide. Things to do and places to go on the Planet Reigate podcast.
We've got our report from the Horley Carnival in a few moments' time. Also, Planet Reigate Stars, our hidden treasure, and our 60-second soundscape still to come before we go at the end of the show. But first of all, here's some things which are happening across the area across the coming week. Tuesday, June the 25th, first of all, Tamsin Kerslake wrote to me and said, when the Harlequin Theatre was sadly closed at the end of last year, East Surrey Performing Arts, a company that had been performing for over 100 years, lost their home, and our shows were put on hiatus. Finally, after a major mission and contacting almost every venue in the local area, we're finally proud to announce that the show will go on, which is absolutely fantastic. Jason Robert Brown's Tony Award-winning show Parade is going to be performed June 25th to the 29th. And where are they going to be performing? Well, bear with me, and also bear with the East Surrey Performing Arts, because they are going to be performing outside the area. So duck and dodge those dragons, because they're actually going to be over at the Nomad Theatre in East Horsley. It's kind of rather fitting name, isn't it? The Nomad Theatre, for a group which used to be at the Harlequin, and they've had to trudge with some knapsacks on their back to go all the way over to East Horsley. But give them all of the support that you possibly can, because I know they're really going to need it. And Tamsin says the cast and creative team are exceptionally talented. She says alumni of ESPA, so that'll be East Surrey Performing Arts, and YESPA, I'm guessing that's the youth of East Surrey Performing Arts, have trodden the boards of the West End and Britain's Got Talent, so it's no surprise this will be a moving and polished performance. So those details again, East Surrey Performing Arts presents Tony Award-winning musical Parade at the Nomad Theatre in East Horsley from the 25th to the 29th of June. It's a musical exploring the power of hope in the face of adversity in the backdrop of America's powerful history. Tickets £19, available at espaproductions.org. Wednesday the 26th, and Reigate Business Guild, they've got their next meeting on the 26th, so on Wednesday at 6:30 at Priory Llamas. Registration is available on their website, and they say they look forward to seeing you on the evening. These things are always really well worth going along to. it's going to be difficult for me to get along to that one, but I'm supportive of a couple of the other business groups in the area, and you get to know what is going on in the area. You get to have a little chat with other people, find out if you can help them, and if possibly if they can help you as well. You swap help, you swap ideas and so on. So it's really good to be part of those local business groups. There's another one in Redhill, and also our friends over at RH Networking as well, which has a slightly wider catchment area too. Talking of which, on Thursday, members of RH Networking meet between 7 and 9 at the Red Lion and Cellar Rooms there. It's Donna Matthews is going to be speaking. Donna, hello. Yeah, Donna. Yeah, friend of the show. Honeybee Mortgage Solutions is what Donna is going to be talking about. And also Rachel Thornhill from the eponymous. Is that the right word? That just sprung into my mind. It's eponymous, isn't it? When something is named after you. That's right. Rachel Thornhill from Rachel Thornhill Photography. It's the group for face-to-face and online networking for business owners, directors, managers, and anyone who wants to meet other professional people. Go along to rhnetworking.co.uk. Also, I can tell you about this happening on Thursday, and that is the Art Society in Reigate. Says they bring people together through a shared curiosity in the arts. Meetings begin at 2 p.m. promptly at Reigate Park Church on Park Lane East. They've got some superb facilities there, haven't they? The Art Society Reigate.org.uk, and this month they're going to be talking about limewood sculpture. Yeah, too often the sculpture of Central Europe is ignored, and yet some of the most important pieces of Renaissance sculpture was produced in northern cities and towns, often for small parish churches off the beaten track, as well as the large cathedrals. So that's what they're going to be talking about this month's topic. Friday the 28th, Marta wrote to me. She said we're a local PTA charity, Friends of Sandcross, and we're hosting the amazing summer events on the 28th of June. Would it be possible for you to advertise it? Yes, of course it would be, Marta. Free entry to the summer fair from 1 till 3. The highlights include stalls run by pupils and teachers. Please do support them. It's all part of their enterprise learning experience. Bouncy castle, food stalls, ice cream, and many, many more as well. Plus, they've got an outdoor cinema experience between 5 and 9. So they still have the stalls and the food and the bar as well, but also, as I say, they got that outdoor movie experience, and it's going to be The Greatest Showman. Well, that's going to be good, isn't it, outdoor? So take along a rug or a seat to sit on. Don't worry about the food and refreshments, because they're going to be selling those for you. Also, there's going to be a bouncy castle and face painting as well. Don't know what the kids are going to be doing. Friday the 28th of June, doors open at 5. The show starts at 6:30, and it's a community event, but it is to raise money for Sandcross School. Sandcross Lane in Reigate, of course, as you know, RH2 8HH. So a couple of things going on there. They kind of got the fair bit between 1 and 3, and then they got the cinema bit with doors opening at 5 and the show starting at 6:30. We always look ahead to the following Saturday as well. Friends of Earlswood Summer Fair, Saturday the 29th, between 12 and 3, at the Junior School Field. They say join us for lots of fun, inflatable donkey rides. Sorry, there should have been a comma in there. That was totally my fault. Inflatables, donkey ride, not inflatable donkeys. Though, of course, you could have that, and that could be quite fun. Ice cream, barbecue food. But I'm watching myself now with my intonation, because it could have been ice cream barbecue, couldn't it? Don't think that's going to work. Although Baked Alaska works, doesn't it? Fire engine, tractor, stalls, music and live performance, games, tombola, raffle and more. £1 for adults, 50p for children. Under 3s go free. And that's Friends of Earlswood Summer Fair on the Junior School Field. Salfords and Sidlow Parish Council are celebrating 50 years, so congratulations to them. It's at Salford Social Club, 12 till 5. They've got a disco from 6 as well, live music from Something Like That. Sounds like it's going to be a Take That tribute band, doesn't it? Cash barbecue. No, It's a cash barbecue. Now I'm doing it the other way. Ice creams and craft stalls, community group involvement, fun and enjoyment for all of the family. There's also going to be a scarecrow competition going on as well, midday through till 5. Parish Council will be judging the best scarecrows and giving some prizes as well. I say that we're really looking forward to seeing what our younger generations can create. Got another message here from Thua. Mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. She says, I was listening to your podcast. I've been binge listening. That's what we like to hear. I'm going to give you a round of applause for that. She says, I was wondering if you could mention our summer fete. It's Saturday the 29th of June between 12 and 3 o'clock. This year is extra special because it's the school's 60th anniversary. We've organised a really big event, barbecue, live band, pony rides, and also we've got a 60th anniversary themed cake competition, and that cake's going to be sold towards the fundraiser as well. She says we've so far raised enough funds for Chromebooks, playground markings, new bike sheds so far this year. We've also spent £2,500 to restock the school library with copies of books which are featured in our 100 books to read before leaving Yattendon School challenge, and the books have been carefully curated and the challenge set up to encourage reading among the students. Some publicity would be great because the community is welcome to attend, particularly past and future students as well. So that's Thua mentioning that, and that's the Friends of Yattendon. So Yattendon School, if you can go along there, Saturday week the 29th between 12 and 3. Also, Bats Hill Surrey Distillers and Reigate Ladies Joggers have got together. That sounds like a match made in heaven, doesn't it? Ladies, jogging, and a bit of gin. I love that, as I'm sure they will as well. Invite you to enjoy a trail run or power walk and gin tasting on Saturday the 29th at 9:30 in the morning at Brightleaf Farm, Millers Lane Outward, RH1 5PY. So if you want some more information on that, check out Bats Hill Distillers. I must get down there and have a chat with them about their distillery. And also Reigate Ladies Joggers as well, joining forces for a bit of gin tasting up past 9 on a Saturday morning.
Email hello@theplanetreigatepodcast.com. Find out more at theplanetreigatepodcast.com. Leave a text or voice message on WhatsApp 07917 874 572 and leave a review on your favourite podcast app. Support us at buymeacoffee.com/The Planet Reigate Podcast.
So a big weekend last weekend, not just the Reigate Summer Festival across both days, but also on Saturday, the Horley Carnival, both events supported by us here at the Planet Reigate podcast, of course. Despite a medieval theme, the procession had a rather more traditional carnival vibe. Here's Brazilian percussion band Bloco de Sol. Planet Reigate reporter David King spoke with Councillor Eddie Humphreys, the Mayor of Reigate and Banstead.
I haven't been to a carnival since I was in my teens. Really looking forward to it this year and seeing all the traders and the walkers and the events. Thank you to all the people who have put it on, the Horley Lions who have supported it, but also it's fabulous to see all the schools and the different groups, the Beavers, and also the adult groups, the football and the Business Guild coming out and making such an effort. And we're looking forward to seeing the procession with all the walkers as well. It just seems like a great community spirit here, definitely.
Now, obviously, last weekend didn't give us the conditions that we'd hoped for. Horley Town Mayor Martin Saunders and his deputy Tom Turner.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't always get the sunshine we want in the middle of British summer, but everyone seems to be quite happy. It's just a lovely event to have, and it's so many people put so much effort in, and it's one of the things I think in Horley we do really well. We've got a really strong community of volunteers who love to do this kind of thing and get out and, show what the town can do. So it's great to be part of it. I don't know what it is about Horley, but there's something about the community. There's a very strong volunteer group here people want to get involved, and when one group gets involved, more get involved, and it kind of snowballs in a very positive way. So despite the weather, we are going to have a wonderful time.
And the sun's coming out now, so...
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not sure for how long, but never mind.
We were just looking at the rain radar, maybe for a few hours, so we'll take that.
Fingers crossed. Good to see a lot of schools taking part in the event this year.
The schools have always been a really strong part of the carnival. They always put a great effort in. We also have a number of care homes for sheltered accommodation and for young adults as well. They always put a fantastic effort in. And then there's a number of businesses, people like the Bull Pub, the Horley Business Guild, and dance schools like Connect. So it's a great mix of different community groups, businesses and schools and community groups.
It's good to see also that you've got a lot of farmers from around the area lending their tractors and transport, their vehicles.
Yeah, and there's there's a few haulage firms that have very kindly donated their vans and trailers and what have you, and a lot of walking groups as well. I mean, I mustn't forget the walking groups because they're not in a big van, but they've all put great effort in as well.
So I've just come up to the Medieval Combat Society, and I am talking to...
Morning, I am Alan the Paul. We are a medieval reenactment society. We've been active for over 50 years. We are people of all different trades coming together to reenact the period of the 100 Years' War, so mid-1300s. And we do a whole variety of things, from actual combat with swords, shields, armour. We do archery. You may see in the arena soon we do some dance. We also have members of our group who dress up as royalty, people who do cooking, various blacksmithing, and have a very good fun time doing it as well.
I saw some battles going on a little bit earlier. Anybody ever get hurt?
We always try to do it in a safe environment. You can see from my sword here, it is real steel. You hear, especially from this ting.
Oh, yes.
Because no sharp points, of course. So we try and be as authentic as possible. We always get new people coming in every year. On a whole, we will train mostly during the winter months. Then when the show season starts, which is roughly end of March, beginning of April, everyone comes together, does a show, does a display, pack down, and everyone has a jolly good fun time. Some of us have been used for film work as well over time. So,
right, yes, of course.
So whenever they say we need people who are trained in medieval combat, who have their own armour, who know how to use them in a safe environment, they'll ask.
Where do you get the tools from and the weaponry? I can see there's a variety of swords, knives and shields.
The majority of weaponry is made by an actual expert. That being said, there are members who make their own leathercraft, use to get an actual anvil, make things out. A lot of the armour we wear does tend to have to be adapted or modified to fit the wearer.
Thank you very much.
Okay, have a good day.
Thank you. One of the stands here today at the Horley Carnival belongs to Huxley's Birds of Prey Centre and Garden. Karen, good to see you here despite the rain.
So we have approximately 100 birds at the centre, and they range from falcons, we have hawks, we've got eagles, owls, which are my personal favourites. So we have a selection with us today. We have Harris hawk, we've got a Chilean blue eagle, and then obviously a few falcons in the tent next to us. We train them from a young age. The one we've got in the tent here, Caesar, is a few weeks old now, and obviously already in training to fly. They do pick it up quite quickly. Caesar is a lugger falcon. They are used as bait in some countries to catch bigger falcons.
And that noise you can hear in the background is it is Caesar, isn't it?
It is Caesar, and he's talking to us. He's been imprinted, so when he opened his eyes for the first time, he saw us as humans, and he thinks he's the same as us, or we're the same as him. So we're basically mum and dad.
We're just going to talk to Debbie.
The Seika falcons are worth a lot of money, and for a poor family in the Middle East, one Seika falcon that they can take out the wild will feed their family for the year. They were endangered in the wild, but there are a number of big breeding projects going on. One's in the UK.
So if people wanted to find out more about Huxley's, how would they do that?
huxleysbop.co.uk. We are currently open Wednesday through to Sundays, right up until the end of October, with 2 flying displays a day at 12 and 2. We also do experiences which people can book. Yeah, come down and see us. We've got about 100 birds, as I say. We've also got meerkats, believe it or not.
Right, okay.
So, yeah, something different. We're behind Hillier's Garden Centre on the Brighton Road in Horsham.
Yeah. Walking around the Horley Carnival in the rain, and I've come across the stand that belongs to the Greyhound Trust. I'm talking to Johnny and to Sam as well.
Greyhound Trust is a non-profit organisation that looks after greyhounds after they retire from racing, and they try to find homes for them.
So the headquarters of the Greyhound Trust charity are in Peaksbrook Lane, Horley, since 2022, and at any one time we've got up to 20 dogs looking for a home, and we'll try and match to an interested family's circumstances. And we also welcome people to volunteer at events such as today, where Johnny and I are at the carnival. Foster families are often needed as well.
They make absolutely amazing pets. This is Robin, one of my greyhounds. She's been with us for over 4 years now. She is very chill. She's a therapy dog. She's good with children. She goes to senior homes to meet elderly people. She's got a very calming and chill effect on everyone. I've got 3 other dogs which are a bit more anxious, and she's the calming one. They don't require a lot of training. They don't require a lot of exercise. They're sprinters. They have bursts of energy, so that energy goes in a quick run, and then they lie down and sleep 20 hours a day. They're a very healthy breed, so they don't require high insurance premiums or high vet bills. They're easy to groom. Mostly, if trained well and looked after well, they can be good with other animals, children, and even sometimes cats. So they race between 2 and 4. After 4, they will need a home. So they spend the majority of their life looking for a home. And this is where the small part of the time, like the beginning, where the Greyhound Trust prepared them, because they've been in the racing industry, they haven't necessarily got introduced to a family home. Yeah. They don't know what a TV is, they don't know what a doorbell is. So the Greyhound Trust spends all the time and effort to get them prepared to get into a home, and a proper home.
The 2 I have at home run around the front room for 5 minutes, but then they're exhausted, mad moment, and then they'll fall asleep and you don't hear from them again. They do want to see who comes into the house, but they are not in any way aggressive to visitors to the house. The Greyhound Trust have a website, which is greyhoundtrust.org.uk.
The next show will be the Bletchley Fair, and afterwards we'll do the Gutton Park Fair. It's a beautiful event as well. And then we're doing Surrey Sighthound Show. We are doing Reigate Fire Service Open Day in August. And then around Christmas we do a lot of local events. We try to be at as many events as we can to show people the greyhounds and how they behave. My lifestyle fits greyhounds. I work from home, I work a lot, and they don't require too much attention. They changed my life since we had them. My wife now have a dog business right next door to us. It's because of them, since we adopted one, and I volunteer with the Greyhound Trust because of Robin, since I met her and adopted her. I know a lot of our people who adopted dogs from our centre, they would come and tell you that greyhounds have changed their lives.
Johnny, Sam, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much, David.
Thank you very much.
And our thanks to Planet Reigate reporter David King, who braved the weather conditions at the Horley Carnival 2024. And thank you to everyone who spoke with David, gave us a bit of a flavour of what went on there last weekend. And thanks to you, if you turned up, hopefully you had a good time and contributed to the local causes who were there. We'll finish off with some more traditional medieval music. Here's the Panache Steel Band.
Planet Reigate Stars, thanking local heroes who are out of this world.
And don't forget, you can skip to your favourite part of the show. Just go to our show notes and you'll be able to find the timeline of where your favourite bit is, and then you can skip directly to it. Hello, this is Peter Stewart, Planet Reigate podcast, and our really successful and popular Planet Reigate Star Award this week goes to an amazing lady called Laura and her dog. She was an absolute hero today. She immediately recognised that my autistic daughter was distressed and invited her to stroke her gorgeous little dog called Rocket. I've no doubt that this kindness and understanding saved an almighty meltdown, sitting on the ground with us in the rain for such a long time. Well, that was totally above and beyond. So Laura and Rocket, you get this week's Sprinkle of Stardust from the Planet Reigate podcast, Planet Reigate Star Awards.
Hidden Treasure on the Planet Reigate podcast.
This week's item was first manufactured between 1962 and 1968, and it's from the Mattel Incorporated Company. The brand name on this is Fisher-Price, so yes, it's a toy, but not just any toy. It's a music box teaching clock. So there's quite a lot going on here, but it's described as no flashy lights, no buttons to press, no fancy bits to get lost or broken. You simply wind it up, listen to the music, watch for the little pictures on the clock face, and turn the clock hands to learn the different times. So this might be very reminiscent for people. It's joyous, isn't it? The imagery across the teaching clock has like a school scene, a teacher greeting children at the school entrance door, a child walking up to the school. Around the side there's lots of sort of little windows with different children in, one dressed as a cowboy, one with frost and snow seeping from the window, and on the back there's images actually which indicate the different hours of the day, so the different things that might be taking place at that point. So bath time apparently is 5 p.m. 6 p.m. is looks like parents sitting down and eating their tea, and 7 o'clock is bedtime. This item retails new for about £50. I've seen them new boxed. The pre-owned variety such as this are retailing for around about £20. We're asking £12.50 for this item, so you can pick it up locally at the Children's Trust Bell Street. And as always, we have so many other pre-owned items, and due to the generosity of our donors, and a huge toy department. It must be the biggest one in the county for sure. Come along and see us, find your hidden treasure, and support children with brain injury.
And our thanks, as always, to Julie there at the Children's Trust, Bell Street in Reigate. Did you know that actually there are so many Children's Trust shops right across the southeast, across Surrey, into Kent, into Sussex as well? And what Julie does, she's kind of a regional manager, and she's got her staff to identify the very best or unusual or items which can perhaps get a little bit more money, and brings them to the Reigate store specifically so she can talk about them on the Planet Reigate podcast. So you really do get the pick of the bunch here by listening to the podcast. One more thing which has literally caught my eye in the last few moments as I was listening to Julie and doing a bit of scouting around and so on, and catching up on a few bits and pieces. And that is something which has been posted by Debbie on one of the local social media sites. And she says, this beautiful lime tree is in full flower at the moment, and the scent is absolutely amazing. It's well worth crossing the road for a sniff. So this is the lime tree, which is just inside the Bell Street car park for Priory Park. Yeah, in Reigate. It's right in the corner. It's opposite the bike shop, and it's just alongside the wall, and it's just behind one of the big blue kind of notice boards there. So if you're up Bell Street, or if you've been shopping at Morrison's or something like that, and you think to yourself, okay, I've got 2 minutes, and it's within a couple of days of Peter mentioning this on the podcast, I'm going to nip up there and have a whiff of, quote, the beautiful lime tree, which is in full flower at the moment. If you've got something which is worth telling other people about, yeah, post it on social media, on the various We Love sites and so on, others by similar names. contact me directly as well, because I'd love to mention it so other people can hear about it. Not everyone is necessarily on your socials. Some people aren't too keen on them, but, you know, we'll get another audience for, it could be an event, or it could be just something you've spotted and you'd like other people to know about. Hello at theplanetreigate.podcast.com.
The 60-second soundscape. Local natural sounds, uninterrupted.
And this week, at the water's edge, in Reigate's Priory Park, with coot, mallard, robin, wood pigeon and gull.
The Planet Reigate podcast was produced and presented by Peter Stewart.